Parents and leaders, thank you so much for taking some time today to watch this video. This will serve as our parent and leader meeting for the month of September 2021. I'm so grateful for the way in which you continue to support our student ministry and simply ministry at Exchange in general. We are having, I can tell you this, having so much fun in our student ministry right now. We are just enjoying the fruits of how God is blessing us. The Lord has moved greatly over the course of the summer, and I cannot begin to tell you how grateful I am for that. If we look back from where we were in April to where we are now, we have seen the Lord move us forward in many different areas, and I continue to pray for salvation, for the Lord to add to our numbers daily, but also for these students, especially some of our younger ones who are a little bit new to our ministry. These students, pray for them, pray for their growth, pray for their walk with the Lord, and really, in a school year such as this one, pray for their walks at school as well. And pray for their friendships, relationships, and ultimately that they would glorify God in and through what they do with their life at school, at home, job, sport, whatever that may be. Please come alongside me in praying for those things. I would like to continue to report a little bit about what God is doing in regards to the past couple of months. Of course, we had camp over the summer, and then after that, we had a little bit of a hiatus in the month of August. We brought in our new 6th graders to our student ministry. We've gotten to welcome a few of those, and we had the opportunity as well to have a little game night with our new kids in junior high. So it was a fun evening, and man, we're continuing to see the Lord move. We have had, over the course of the summer, if you tally up our attendance numbers, we have had over 11 brand new faces to our student ministry throughout the summer. 11. That's a blessing. That's the Lord moving in and through our youth group. We have had 11 brand new faces attend our student ministry over the course of just 4-month span going back to the month of May. So that is showing and displaying the Lord's provision, the Lord's just blessing upon our ministry. Continue to pray that we would be able to harness that momentum and use that moving forward. So just a few updates that I want to make you aware of and just kind of keep you in the loop with regarding our student ministry. But I would like to start off in that looking at Luke chapter 6. And we discussed this in our Rooted Sunday School time this past week. Luke chapter 6 is where Jesus is basically on the Sabbath, he decides to heal a man. This man comes to him with a shriveled up hand. He's in need. And even though it is a day of rest for the people, it's a day of rest. And the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, they knew that. They watched Jesus go forth and heal a man from his shriveled up hand. And Jesus says in verse 9, as he has the man stand up and heals him, he asks the Pharisees, the teachers of the law, he asks, I ask you, which is lawful on the Sabbath, to do good or to do evil, to save life or to destroy it? Believer, parent, leader, what are you doing today that will bring glory to God, that is good? What are you doing today that you would consider, if you looked back upon your day today, what would you consider to be good? I did good today. That is not for you to go around saying, look what I did today, look what good I did today. But that is in turn simply to say, are you seeking to do good, or do you let that evil creep in here and there? Are you seeking to do good today? And that's something that we would also like to encourage our kids to do and our students to do. And as we walk through the book of Luke, we're seeing these countless things that Jesus displayed with his life here on earth that we can take heart in, we can apply to our life, we can implement it in our day-to-day walk. How are you seeking to do good that will glorify God? So, like I said, Sunday mornings we're walking through the book of Luke. We've been in Luke chapter 5 and 6 for a really long time, and we're continuing to push hard through that. It's been fun. It's been a lot to go over what each story of Jesus means, each narrative, each parable. All these things are significant in understanding Jesus and his earthly ministry. So we're continuing to walk through that. But it's been a great last month or so in Sunday school, our rooted time. If your student, if your child is not a part of that, come. Please plug in. I implore you to do so. Sunday mornings at 9:30 in the youth room. We are currently meeting, and I'd like to add this in there. We've dealt with some ceiling issues in our main youth area that we are continuing to work on. We had some issues with our ceiling coming down a little bit. So we've made the decision to do some slight renovations to our main youth area. And those renovations are well underway. The first few steps of those renovations are already complete. We're waiting on a few other details to fall in place on what is next regarding that. And we'll move forward into hopefully moving back into our main room again sometime soon. Next, I'd like to kind of give you a little bit of an update on our leadership and discipleship time. Those of you who have a student who is involved in that, we kicked off on Sunday night, August 29th. If your student has been involved in discipleship in any way, shape, or form in our youth group, you know that already. But I will be posting on here a little bit of a schedule to show you when we are planning to have discipleship and when we are planning to take the night off. So I have built into our schedule for the fall months a calendar that gets us through each discipleship course. And you'll have early on in our schedule, you will have an idea of who's going to be here and when you need to have your kid here on Sunday night. That'll be helpful, hopefully, for you to plan ahead for some Sunday evening times, Sunday evening discipleship time. So be there. And if your student has missed out on a week, I'd like to remind both students and parents of this. If your student cannot make it to discipleship, they need to let us know. And more specifically, they need to let their discipleship leader know. Once that discipleship course has begun, it is very important. It is very important that at the top of the list when it comes to intentional discipleship, there is commitment. And commitment is so significant. We understand that at times things can get in the way, and at times things come up that aren't foreseen that get in the way of them being able to be here. It happens, but we do need to know about it. And we do ask that they let us know, they let their leader know, whoever is teaching their discipleship course. That way we can plan ahead for that. When we ask for commitment from our students, we're going to hold them to that account. We're going to hold them accountable to that commitment. So we do ask that they would let us know. Let us know if they're not going to be able to make it. We're going to understand. We just ask that they would let us know. So if you guys, parents, if you would help us out with that and making sure that does happen, that would be great. But other than that, our Sunday night leadership and discipleship time is off to a good start for the fall. And I'm excited to see how it's going to continue through the end of the year. We're going to be planning here the next couple of weeks in our leadership time. We're going to be planning a lot of our fall activities. We're going to be getting some new calendar stuff out here the next few weeks. Not ready to talk about dates for that just yet, but you will get an idea of what our fall is going to look like here before the end of September. So you're going to know and you're going to have a good idea what to plan for the remainder of the year. And then lastly, our Wednesday nights. The past few Wednesday nights we have had here at Exchange have been incredible. And I am so ecstatic for how God is working in them. We are currently going through, for the rest of the month of September, we're going to be in a series called What the Heart Wants. And it's all about looking at how what we ourselves want in our own hearts is completely different than what God has for us. Our natural desire as Christians, as believers, as human even, is to seek after things of the world, seek after these fleeting things that the world has to offer. But in and through this series, we're going to see that God's plan for those things is infinitely better than anything that we can imagine. So be here, and I'm encouraging right now. I know it's difficult with the COVID numbers right now, but I am encouraging students to bring their friends, inviting friends, and we're seeing fruits from that. And that being said, lastly, I would like to remind ourselves of this. While we do not have currently any sort of COVID restrictions in place here in the OKC metro area, with the amount of COVID cases we have seen specifically in schools this year, I am encouraging each student who walks through our doors to wear a mask. Of course, we don't always require it, and I understand it's hard to do that. But we do ask that if your student attends our ministry, please just do us a small favor and wear a mask. It's harder. It's for sure harder for students and kids to social distance all the time. So the best way we can help mitigate any unforeseen issues is to wear a mask. So please do so. While these case numbers are so high, please consider sending your student with a mask. We provide them at the entryway to our youth ministry area, so as they walk in, they can do that, grab one, put it on, and then we can enjoy the night together. If we do that, our hope is that we can continue to go throughout the fall without any interruptions. That is our goal. As always, if you have any questions for me, I would like for you to reach out to me, and then about any of those things, whether it's masking, whether it is Sunday nights, whether it is Wednesday nights, Sunday mornings, any of that. My encouragement to you is to simply get plugged in. There is one last calendar thing that I want to make note of before we conclude here today. Wednesday, September the 22nd, is See You at the Pole. And this year, we're not going to be participating in any sort of See You at the Pole rally. However, we are encouraging our students to be a part of See You at the Pole. What that is every year on the fourth Wednesday of the month of September, students across the country gather around their school's flagpole, and they spend time praying for their school, their teachers, their staff, and for the Lord to revive this nation. And this year should be no different. Spend some time praying right now that your student would be involved in that. And the best way they can do so is to ask around at school. See if anybody is doing See You at the Pole at their respective school. And if they are, make it a point to be there. Parents, if you have to get your kid up earlier, if you have to drive them to school one day to make sure they get there, it is worth it. That they see other students around them who are also believers lifting up prayers to God for revival to happen in their church, in their school, in their city, in their community. It's worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. So encourage your student to gather around the flagpole Wednesday morning, September 22nd. Again, ask your student to find out, ask around, and hopefully your school will be doing that. And I would encourage, if your school isn't, you can still do it. You can still do it. Take that step of faith in that way. If you have any questions, as always, reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you. If there's any way we can better minister to you or your family, please reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation about that. As always, I love you guys, and I'm thankful for every one of you. Have a great day.